Hello everyone, and once again welcome back to the DSA series. Myself Max Patel, and today we're gonna solve question number 202 of Leetcode. It's basically a happy number. Okay. Today is day 32 of our series. We completed around 30 videos of Leetcode. Okay, and we started from beginner. Now we'll moving to the moderate level, and in some of this we move to the advanced level and learn some of them higher topics. Yesterday we saw a question like power of 2 where we'll checking for that code has particular n is equal to 2 to the power x form or not, we returning true or false. So if you not watch yesterday's video, you can check out link in a button. Okay, and you have to try the question by yourself after getting approach and logic understanding. Okay, and try to do things by yourself. So firstly, I'll explain the question, and afterward we see example. Then we discuss about approaches. Then we move to the code writing, and at the end we can see time and space complexity for that question. So let's start with question explanation. Write an algorithm to determine if a number n is happy. Okay, so you have to write an algorithm like a basic function which is to determine the given number is happy or not. The terms and conditions for happy is given below, but you have to write according that they pass multiple conditions and throughout work for many things. Okay, a happy number is a number defined by the following process. Okay, the conditions are given that starting with any positive integer. Okay, number has to positive, start from positive, replace the number by the sum of the squares of its digits. You have to replace the number by the sum of the squares of its digit. If the number is 82, you have to do it 8 square plus 2 square, sum that two, like sum of that both squares, and again you got your number. Okay, repeat the process until the number equals to 1. Then it will stay or it loops endlessly in a cycle which does not include 1. Okay, so they given you conditions. If in some of that cases your first number converted to another number to multiple numbers, at the end in some of cases they will convert it to 1. So you have to return true that this number is happy. But in some of that cases, loop is working endlessly, like a sequence repeating or endlessly or one by one moving. Okay, so that this is at that time you got that this number is not a happy number and you does not have to return it. Okay, those numbers for which this process ends in 1 are happy numbers. Okay, so basically our algorithm is to find that firstly take number. Okay, and split it by digits and squaring each and every digit, again sum of that squares of digits, again the sum should be splitted in digits. You have to repeat that process. Okay, multiple times until you got one or repeatedly group. So now we check out the example 1. Input is n equal to 19, so you here check out that 1 square 9 square 82, 8 square plus 2 square 68, 6 square plus 8 square 100. Okay, now hundreds, 1 square 0 square equal to 1. So this is the our happy number and they will return to. Okay, uh, same here example 2. The condition they given to you is your n is greater than or equal to 1 and less than and equal to 2 to the power 31 minus 1. Okay, so this is the today's question. I hope you got clear about the question. Now we'll discuss about approaches for possible this. Okay, so this is some kind of little tricky question. So you have to be in focus while I am explaining approaches. Okay? If you find any doubts, ask me in comments because this is important question. Okay, so for this question, I have like one approach in my mind. First, we move with the an external functions. Okay, which is a sum of squares. Okay, while one this is happy function which is working in a places where conditions and loop are there, but we using for summing and squaring one different function which is like sum of squares. Okay, and that function giving you the sum of that your digits, and you in this first function. Okay, is happy function you just checking is happy or not, and the digits you pass to the our another sum of square function. Again, sum of square give you result like the digit sum is equal to that. You if you not give me another, I check and give you answer. Okay, like that. This is first approach. What we can do. Another there is one more approach is possible. We can take one array, scene array, and one while loop. If the scene is included, the current number is included, return false because there is no possibility of any happy number. And if in case of our to finding number, okay, which is does not repeated, so you can push that number. Okay, at the end when you got one, so and we use sequence of some inbuilt functions like two string. Again we split that part, then reduce and some like doing some while our functions arrow functions are like that, and use math dot power to convert power to two and like that. Okay, so second approach is a little bit tricky, but while writing I'm code, I'm explaining you so you got better understanding of this. So now I'll start with the our first approach. Okay, so we focus our first approach. Let's start with it. Okay, so for first approach we are moving with one for loop for let I equal to 0, I is less than, we assuming 1000 step. Okay, not more than. Yeah, if you go more, yeah, it will increase your code time complexity and you have to check multiple conditions. N equal to sum of squares. Okay, sum of squares of given n. Okay, this sum of squares is new function which will create after this completing this part. Then we checking for conditions if n equal to 1, return true. Okay, this is completed. Now we'll go move here to create new function. So function, which function? Sum of sequences. Okay, so now squares. Okay, that is square. Okay, sum of squares of num. Okay, so here what we want to do, let sum equal to 0, we taking one variable, sum is equal to 0, while num is greater than 0, each and every time num is greater than 0, we will continue this loop, let digit equal to num modulus 10, we'll dividing our digit, but like we converting our num into digits and storing it in digits, then sum plus equal to digit into digit. Okay, now we're squaring digit and storing it in our sum, like adding, not storing. Num equal to math dot floor to remove our like decimal places after this. So num slash plus. Now we'll use our num's last digit, so we remove that digit and move to the next. Okay, so this is that part completed. Now we'll move to the next part. We have to return it. For returning it, we use outside this while loop. Okay, move to the outside while loop and use return sum. Okay, now let me run this first to know whether it is correct or we'll do some mistakes. Okay, okay, I am thinking that here we got mistake. Here we have to use like, okay, no, each and everything looks perfect. Okay, so it will like something here our like conditions has some errors. Okay, if n is equal to 2, output is undefined and expected is false. Okay, yeah, let here we forgot one something. We returned true condition, but we forgot to write false condition. Whenever to give if this is for loop, it does not return true. so we have to return false. Okay, now it has to be like correct. Okay, let me run this and make it okay. So now this is perfect, looks like. We'll submit this for further lead code test cases. Okay, to check this is working for all of like all test cases or not. So yeah, this is accepted. All 402 test cases are passed. Okay, so this is our first approach where we moved with the one new function which is the sum of squares and included that function here and try to complete it each and every test cases with that. Now the thing is we moving with our second approach. It's basically depending upon a new array, scene array. So I'll remove this whole thing to clear up this. Okay. So first we take a let scene equal to new array. Okay. Thing happen here by scene equal to new array. Okay. After that we move to the while new loop while n is not equal to 1 each and every time where n is not equal to 1 given that if scene dot include in our n if the current number is included in our scene array that return file. Okay, it basically means your scene array contains each and every number which is coming after the square. If you have 5, okay, you try to doing completing many squares. Okay, at 10th index you got 27. Okay, you got 27 10th index, and whenever you again got 27 it means 27 to moving it will returning again 27. It's in a cycle, so you did not get one at this possibility. So now this time it becomes that this is not a happy number. Okay, so we check that not happy number condition is satisfied. Now we have to push, okay, our value of n to the our given scene array, and where n equal to n dot to will convert it to string. Okay, and afterward what we here do is to split with directly. Okay, then reduce it some. Wait here, let me fix it. Some okay, some digit, we take two variables, sum and digit, then arrow function, and here we use sum plus math dot power. POV is an power function. Okay, and we using parseInt. ParseInt basically convert each and everything to the integer. Okay, of now we have to define that what thing I have to convert to, that is parseInt, and we have to convert 2 to power, so we use 2. So here we add 0, and it's completed our this part. We'll okay, so after while loop we have to use and true. If the code comes to here, it means each and everything is perfect and our this thing is correct. Wait, we hear something to mistaken like an syntax error. Okay, this function ended up here. One bracket started, math dot power bracket started, inside digit ended. Okay, wait, let me have to check this part once again. What is the mistake here? Wait, we'll check line by line so we find it. Okay, this sum digit, okay, initiated outside reduce initiated, reduce ended. This will initiate arrow function. Then sum plus method power. Okay, for power we use taken string to convert that in integer. We use parseInt. Okay, here we mistaken. We have to take the only digits parseInt, not we converted it by mistakenly whole thing. Okay, here now it looks right. Converted to integer. Now it will integer of digit in power of 2 and ended with 0. Okay, looks perfect. Wait, again it will showing runtime error. The parse int will not defined. Okay, I didn't get it. Let me clear and write it again. Okay, okay, and run this and okay. Still we didn't get it error, but it will accept it. Now we'll submit. Okay, to check for the lead code test cases. Okay, our and all test cases are accepted. So this is our today's question. I hope you got clear about all. We completed two approaches with the basic of explanation and each will thing is I explained it. Also, this second approach is like we will use it multiple inbuilt function in a such a way that you will know how we can use multiple inbuilt function. It's synchronously. So the code is might be working for higher and higher tough and tough conditions with each and every index. Like an you can see that in like algorithm, first we'll splitting it. After that we'll taken that digit, squaring of single digit, adding into the sum. Again we'll storing that sum into the our scene array. Taken again scene array's value and like that. Okay. So this is our two approaches. Now we'll discuss about time and space complexity for these approaches. Okay, so now we'll discuss about time and space complexity for our current code. So for approach one, where we are taking one new function and working on that part. So for that approach, our space complexities remain order of one. We just not taking a single like single array or loop. We just taken two three variables like some variable and num variable to check and compare and count the sum of digits and splitting it in digits. So for that is space complexity is order of one and time complexity is order of log n. Okay, you typically say that order of 1000 log n, but it's practically it's order of log n where you max checking 1000 test cases according to your log n. Okay, but not each and every time 1000 cases. So you can say that order of log n. Time complexity is order of log n and space complexity is order of 1 for our first approach. Now we'll see about second approach. This current we writing approaches. So here we're using to string, converting it to string. Its time complexity is order of log n. For split, again there is log n. For reduce, it will same as the split and string. But for include, okay, we're including it to our scenario. For that is order of n. Okay, so there is order of n and order of log n. So at that time your time complexity becomes order of n into log n. Okay, n log n like that. Wait here. One more thing. We does not include each and every n variable to that part. So your time we have to take k. K is the basically unique characters stored in scene array. So your time complexity becomes order of k into log n. Okay. For this approach, space complexity is we taken one new array of size k and we used if and condition seen for the that law. So order of k plus log n. Okay, space complexity I did not multiply it. We does not including like that. We have order of k and log n spaces. It will add it. So space complexity is order of k plus log n and time complexity is k into log n. So this is today's question. I hope you got clear about each and everything, time and space complexity and both code explanation. So now we move to the tomorrow's question, but tomorrow we're gonna solve question number 412. It's basically 412 fridge bulb question, fridge bulb question. Okay, so this is the question you have to check that given an integer n, return a string array. Okay, it will return a string array answer one indexed where answer of 1 equal to fridge budge if I is divisible by 3 and 5, if I is divisible by 3, if I is divisible by 5. Answer I equal to I as a string if none of the above conditions are true. Like if n is equal to 3 they given to you, your at the third index output should be fridge 1 to fridge. Okay, and if it will like 5 n is 5, so your array should be 1 in string, 2 in string, again fridge in string, at 4 in string, at 5 it will merge. Okay, and if the number is divisible by 3 and 5 is 15, so at 15 your answer should be written is fridge budge. Okay, so I hope you got clear about this question. You can try this question to solve, and after completing you have to post it on LinkedIn and Twitter, mention me. If you find any doubts about today's video, ask me in comment. And if you not solve this question, we'll solve this on tomorrow's video. Come and check out the approaches. If you're not started yet DSA with the series, link in I button. Start from the day one where I'll explain each and everything about this series, how you can start and what words should be covered and how to will move on forward. Okay, so go and check out that video. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Meet on the tomorrow's video.